to me, a problem. You should play some preseason, but whatever.
All right, we live now, Eric B. It's the post-game show, y'all. It's time to tap in. Your Dallas Cowboys with the 24-6 win at home over them stinking Detroit Lions, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all tap in, tap in, tap in. We're going to talk about it, baby. Dallas Cowboys 5-2. Where them haters at? I want to know y'all got that same energy y'all had in the first half. Is y'all going to crawl up on this live and talk that shit in the second half? That's what I want to know.
Can't say much, right? Except that we got a W despite all the
tell of two halves.
Yep. We have been a second half team this year a little bit, even with Cooper Rush running the game for 4 or 5 games. But you know, they took care of business. Get that W. Bring on the Bears. Let's beat them up too, because you know we're gonna. They can't score, and we're gonna score more on them at home next week. Going to the bye week, like we said. What 5, 6, and 2, and let's bring on, bro. We got to keep winning because Philly's ahead of us, and that I hate to bring them up, but we're gonna keep pace.
I just want everybody to know before all the haters try to crawl and just say, "Hey, it's just Detroit. You're supposed to have won." I want you to take this to sleep with you tonight. Just know that the Detroit Lions are averaging almost 28 points per game, and the Dallas Cowboys defense held the Detroit Lions to 0 touchdowns. That part. I just want y'all to hold on to that today.
Yeah, that defense. You can't say. We hang our hats on that week after week. And that's what we knew coming in because our offensive line was a little bit shaky and our wide receivers are still a little bit shaky. We should make a trade. But we're still getting it done with a backup quarterback, and we're still in the hunt. And NFC East is where it's going to run through this year, not anywhere else. NFC is going to run through the NFC East this year. So we got to keep on.
Yep, it's an important win. I don't know. I need to get over here to NFL.com. It looked like the Green Bay Packers are losing to the Washington Commanders or something like that, you know?
Yeah, they are. And Tampa lost. And the Giants are in a battle right now against Jacksonville. There's a lot of good competition. But
yeah,
you win that. Yeah, you win the NFC East. You know how that is. It hasn't happened in how many years? 16 years back to back. We need to get that, man. We need to.
Washington's up 23-14 with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left, and Jacksonville's up on New York. So just tracking these NFC East games here today as Dallas handles business, baby.
What's good? Sorry about that.
This guy
over here.
He ain't late. He just detained elsewhere, baby. 24-6. The Dallas Cowboys win. How about them turnovers? 5 turnovers for the Dallas Cowboys. Micah out there finally putting his print on the game.
It was a beautiful thing, man. Definitely a beautiful thing to see, man. That's really what we needed too, man. I think we talked about that too. We knew we were going to have a little bit of rust on Dak, but that defense, no matter what, needed to come through. And the second half is when everything started clicking for us.
Yeah. I was just
hang your hat on it. You hang your hat on it and say thank you for Dan Quinn and that defense.
Yeah, after 4 quarters, you know we're eventually going to wear you down. That's why after that first half, I was like, I'm glad we got out of there 6-3. You know, it was like Thursday night football in the first half. Yeah. Nothing but field goals, no touchdowns. But like I was sharing with Eric B. earlier, Dallas Cowboy fans can hang their hats, especially on this defense today. Detroit Lions been averaging almost 28 points per game. We held them to 0 touchdowns.
That's pretty big. That's pretty. I don't know that I knew that statistic before that. That's pretty impressive, man. Especially the fact that they're scoring 28 points.
Yeah, I told you, B. On the way, I was like, they're the 3rd highest scoring offense in the league, bro.
That's ridiculously impressive. Then, honestly, that the defense anyway. But I don't know. I think Eric said that it's probably going to be after the bye week where we see Dak start turning into the Dak we remember, and that makes sense because this is basically his second game since last year, so it was pretty evident the first half.
Yeah, exactly.
Throwing into triple coverage like, I got this, don't worry about it.
Man, I'm going to tell you, he looked like he was throwing some ducks, man. Some of the balls were really wobbly, and I'm like, man,
it didn't look good. They didn't look good at all. You're right. And I texted that to my friend. Shout out to the Avilas out there, and they actually went to the game. I texted them too and said that those passes just looked bad, and they were underthrown, and they looked wobbly, and I don't know. It fixed itself.
I don't know about this one. Let me ask you guys this question. I think you just alluded to that. Mikey Fernside checking in here says Dallas needs help at, I think he's trying to say wide receiver position.
We knew that.
Really?
I don't know. It depends if Noah Brown just got hurt from that somersault, but I think he's fine. Yeah, I think he's fine. I don't know if we put it this way, and I think everybody needs to understand this. Again, I'll keep saying it until someone finally clicks. Until it clicks in everyone's head.
We don't have the money to pay anyone else.
We can't give anyone anything, man. We do not have any money, and we've got to pay Diggs, and we got to pay Parsons. We got to think about what's happening.
They're thinking about next year.
Is it.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to win for now, though. Sometimes you got to win for now. Sometimes you got to go get Claypool from Pittsburgh and give him a draft pick and sign his ass. He's 6'4" and can make plays on the outside if you really want to win. Because, I mean, Rams financed their life. They suck now, but the Rams won a Super Bowl last year. I mean, I wouldn't mind winning a Super Bowl. Go ahead and spend a little money. Try it out.
It ain't my money. It ain't my money anyway. You're right. That's a good idea. Just take it and buy yourself some teammates, man. But again, I don't know that that's something that can happen now. The quality, the positions we need are expensive positions. So I think that's a little too much, man.
Yeah, we don't need no wide receiver help, man. I mean, Dak had some rust. I mean, that defense showed up again. Now, according to StatMuse, y'all know every Wednesday I tap in on NFC East Matters. So I'm on StatMuse now. Now the Lions are only averaging 24.3 points a game. But this defense held this high-scoring offense to no touchdowns. You got to tip your hat to the Dallas Cowboy defense. I don't care how ugly this game was here today. You got to tip your hat. The defense is winning the game. Dak did just enough to win. We didn't need Dak to come in and light it up and burn the barn down. That's what our defense does with 5 turnovers in critical moments.
Andrew Boggs. Yes.
We had to.
And if you're talking about look, hey, here's the deal. For the amount of money we paid him, and don't even talk about what they restructured and what they did for him in Cleveland. That's something you do when you get somebody to show them that you want them, all right? Forget about it. If that never happened, we still would have had to deal with Amari's plantar fasciitis at one point. We would have had to deal with him at one point taking a play or two off, if not a half of a game. And we're also going to have to absorb a massive a salary cap hit. We don't have that anymore because he's gone. We were able to actually loosen the grip of the salary cap on us. Now, is he a great wide receiver? Yes. Is he worth 20, 30 million a year? No. And so, yes, it was a good move.
Yep. So we got the Chicago Bears next week, and it looks like they have a game on Monday night, right? They got a game Monday night. That's right. New England and Chicago play on Monday night. So we're going to see that. Just to give you an update, Jacksonville. Oh, New York scored 20-17 over Jacksonville with 5 minutes left.
Damn, what a game.
And also in 23-14 with almost 5 minutes left, Washington over Green Bay. So come on, NFC. Try to do your job, baby.
It don't matter, though.
He ain't lying.
All that don't matter because Philly's we're all chasing Philly, and that's not just us as the NFC East. That's the whole NFL chasing Philly right now. So it's vital. We played pretty good against them the other night. I know it was with Cooper Rush. It was on the road. We showed a little heart. Like, I feel good about getting them a Week 16, all things considering. And we got to keep pace. Every game's going to count now because we got to keep pace with them. It's vital to win your division.
That's true. Very true. But that weather looks good out there where you're at, Eric B. You out there sipping a cold one. You on the porch with a W, man. How's it feel? Where you out there in Florida? Where you at?
Yeah, I'm out there at Crystal River on the west side, the Gulf Coast. Below Tampa, right below Tampa. Thank God we didn't get hit by right above Tampa, sorry. Well, we didn't get hit by the storm, but God bless all those people that got hit by that storm. Ian did us dirty down low, down southwest. But yeah, no, it's good, man. Yeah, I'm just loving life. I have been been blessed by the best and ready for the test. But the Cowboys winning is always a nice thing, even if it's a little ugly. I really think we're trending upward, and this week the schedule's working out perfect.
Yep, just get dubs. That's really all that matters. Let's go over some numbers here from the final game. Detroit had a total of 312 yards. Dallas had 330. Now, I told y'all one of the keys to the game would be, can we stop the run of the Detroit Lions? Well, their total rushing yards, they had over 117 yards. We had 139, however. Dallas Cowboys still going to have to work on stopping that run. However, we did enough. The 5 turnovers were critical, especially with Trayvon Diggs. Those fumbles, they fumbled right at the goal line. That could have been a game-changing play. Had they scored there, could have been a totally different game. But the defense comes up with it. So penalties. Let's talk about penalties. I told y'all the referees were the second opponent, and it was pretty even. They had 8 for 59. We had 7 for 55. Now, there were some calls that we had in there that were typical Dallas Cowboys. Tyler Smith for the holding, dumb plays, we're making there on the line of scrimmage. But, there was some plays also that they missed, and it looked like we got some favors too as well from the Zebras. So, like I say, I never want to blame the Zebras and say they helped us, but it was pretty even when it came to the penalty ball game between both teams.
That's good. That's good. We had a couple that I definitely would say are momentum killers for sure. And it could have, I think, playing any other team other than the Lions, they would have been, some calls that would have really affected us pretty heavily. But I don't know. We did okay. And Eric and I were talking, and he's always known this. But it seems our coach, with anything that has to do with time or timing or the clock or a hand or a number, he doesn't seem to really have a tenuous grasp on any of that shit. There was a couple instances where we, didn't need to take a delay a game, which didn't we take one of those? Just a couple things that were in there that I think are pretty silly. We still need to tighten up, but. We're peaking at the right time, right? We're starting to do real well. Hopefully we start moving upward in the right months, Philly's doing it great. He's doing great, but that bubble's going to pop eventually, I think. And it might be a bad time for that to happen.
We won't know. Yeah. Week 16 is the next time we see him. So we're talking about second to last game of the year. You know what's concerning, Barry? You talked about the running game. I know you got a score update, but Devontae Swift didn't even play for Detroit. Yeah. He's their best one. That's concerning. We gave up 100-something yards, and yet Swift, their starting running back, all-pro, didn't even really play. That actually concerns me more, that we still gave up 100 and whatever.
Yeah, but talking about defense, I'm on statnews.com. They just updated. Micah Parsons was credited with a sack. He's now leading the NFL with 7 sacks as of right now. So that defense showed up again. Micah needed to scratch. He's at 7. That puts him at 1 sack per game. We know his goal is 23. You've been tapping in here with us. The single sack season record is held by another NFC East player. Michael Strahan was the original guy, and then TJ Watt from the Steelers went over there, and they tied it up at 22.5. So Micah's goal is at 23. He's at 7 now in week 7, and they had a total of 5 sacks in this game, y'all. That finger-licking defense showed up in the second half.
It's a beautiful thing. I think I saw Aaron Millard saying if we're talking about getting a player, then go get DK Metcalf. I don't pay attention to a lot of teams other than my team either. But
DK just signed a long-term deal in Seattle.
He did. He's got a $72 million extension for 3 years. He's out of our grasp, and that's not the kind of money that we would have paid him anyway.
The best thing they can do is move Trayvon Diggs to wide receiver. I mean, he out there catching interceptions anyway.
There's a couple guys. Elijah Moore for the Jets.
Guys are running some, they're getting some catches too. So we don't need help per se. I just think they got to find a balance. We ran the ball, it looks typically more this game than we passed. Let me get to those stats right quick. We had a total of 191 yards passing, 139 yards rushing. So pretty balanced, 5.6 yards per play on the offense.
James Washington will be back too. We got a wide receiver, James Washington, that broke his foot in preseason, and he's going to be back. He's not out for the year, 8 weeks, whatever. So
and Tyron will be back too at some point. We'll have Tyron Smith back too at some point.
That's probably why we want
rookie Sam Williams today, though, y'all.
Yes, thank you. I thought of that earlier.
Just pulling the ball out of Jared's hand. It was hilarious, man. That was great. That was just so great, man, to see that coming out at the end of the game, man.
Michael Williams. I'm sorry, Michael Williams. Sam Williams out there. See, that's Sam Williams is Michael Parsons 2.0. See, I meshed them there together.
Yeah,
but he out there body slamming folks. Look like he's doing a WWE move, just slamming folks to the turf.
Yeah, that could have been a big penalty too, man. That didn't go that could have not gone our way.
But I think we touched on the pregame, Bob. You said that Pollard was going to benefit the most here today. And he did. 12 carries, 83 yards, 6.9 yards a carry. Ezekiel Elliott, 15 carries, 57 yards, baby. You hit it square on the head today.
Yep. Zeke got the 2 touchdowns, but Pollard gets the yards. Yep.
I was hoping I would get closer to the 160 on the ground that I predicted, but I'll take 130 or whatever that was that we did.
CeeDee Lamb had 4 catches for 70 yards, so it's a decent day in terms of fantasy football. He didn't get no scores, but Dak did happen to toss a touchdown there at the end too as well. So good to have seen him toss. I'm glad now he's gotten hit in the game. He's gotten sacked. He's thrown it. He's ran it. Shake these webs off like my man Eric B said out there in Florida. Now it's time for us to come chomp on them Bears a little bit and go into the bye and then come out in this second half of the season and get it to rolling.
Straight up.
That'd be a good one more win would be a wonderful birthday present next week, man. That's all I got to say, man. It's very rare I get to watch a Cowboys game on my birthday, but it'll happen next week. I'm happy about it. Give me a win against the lonesome Bears, and I'll be real happy.
But I had said that I thought Turpin was going to have an episode here in this game, and boy, I was yelling and hooting and hollering when he was about to take it to the house, y'all. But
all three phases. All three phases.
I far away from breaking it, y'all. Shout out to Bobby Paget, baby.
Yep, you got to have all 3 phases. And Turpin is the man when it comes to all 3 phases. And I'm waiting for it to happen. He's already shown it. He's capable. He's good. He's better than what we've usually had. So keep on giving him a couple reps and keep on putting him in the situation. Turpin is fine. Turpentine is fine, and hopefully he's going to take it to the house soon.
He might need to eat some Whataburger or some, something, because he only weighs about 160 pounds. I cringe every time somebody hit him. Do y'all?
Yo, straight up, him, and I don't care how much CD says he gained. Anytime anyone comes near CD, I cringe as well. And I'm kind of tired of seeing him running reverses too. I don't know about you guys. I'm putting it out there. They need to cut that play out of there, man. That dude. It's very rare we ever get anything on that play unless Turpin's got his hand on it. We haven't done anything on that play in a long time, so that needs to go. But yeah, CD's a little skinny too out on that field. It's a little terrifying.
That's right, man. So check it out. Thank you to all of the Green Bay supporters here that support the content today, baby. I'm going to place the link in the comment section if you'd like to join us, especially if you're boots on ground. We know prototypes out there, boots on ground at the watch party. All of our Green Badgers, I'm going to invite you to tap in here with us and join us on the post-game show. Here's the link in the comment section now. But the way ahead, baby, we got these Chicago Bears on the way ahead, y'all. What are your thoughts about the Chicago Bears going into Week 8?
They can score, and our defense is good, and we're at home, and Dak's getting better. We're going to beat them.
I think we're on the road. I think we're on the road.
No, we're home.
Are we at home for that game?
Yeah, it should be 2 home games and then the bye, which is beautiful.
Definitely. I even like it better now that we're at home. For some reason, I didn't have my calendar marked right. I thought we were on the road. So good call on that one.
If we're in Chicago, I'd be a little worried. But being at home and having some rest to be able to practice reps, and I know they can't score too much because the scoring is my thing right now. We're not going to be able to score 30 points a game right now. We're not that team yet. But we will be coming out the bye. Bring on the Bears.
There's a definitive difference between first half Dak and second half Dak, which I think was pretty good to see. Most of us were a little bummed out about how he looked, but he made his adjustments and he looked a hell of a lot more comfortable in that second half, to the point where he was making better throws, better plays. When he was throwing it deep, I wasn't holding my breath too hard anymore, like the first half when he was throwing it in triple coverage, but. He looked a lot better, and I think that as the season goes on, a good warm up is a Bears game, and then a nice good practice on a week where we don't have to play a game, and going into another practice after that.
That's definitely benefit this week. Another full week of practice, getting out there,
reps. Live reps against the Bears is big.
Yeah, just giving you a quick update on the Bears. The Bears are 31st at points per game. They're only averaging 15.5 points per game. That's already a bad indicator when the Dallas Cowboys are holding folks, especially the top scoring defense or offenses, to no touchdown. And then they're only scoring about almost 19, almost 20 points a game. So, yeah, this game, you got to be licking your lips if you're a Dallas Cowboys, you know what I mean, coming into this game, because it's got all of everything, especially like a trap game, written all over it.
We should win. We should score some points. We should win for sure. The Bears. Bring them all. Let's go.
Definitely. All right, so Green Badgers, if you're tapping in here, you got the green carpet treatment here today, baby, on this W today. Dallas Cowboys win over the Detroit Lions, Week 7, baby. That's right, 5-2. Let's take a look at these updated scores over here between our other NFC East teams. Washington, Green Bay scored. Now Washington's up 23-21. 2 minutes left in the game.
Shit. It's still good to see Green Bay losing, though. I don't care. That's a tough one.
What about the Giants?
New York is still over Jacksonville 2017 with a little over a minute left to play.
Come on.
Those guys, they just don't go away. We beat them pretty easy. That's why it's all about what Philly does. And they're on a bye just waiting for us.
Appreciate you tapping in here, C.E. Berry. It sounds like she's trying to identify, or they're trying to identify a hater. It says, please put Sylvester Cherry on blast. He loves us so much. I don't know. That name don't ring a bell here, but hey, Sylvester, get off the D, baby.
Oh,
Haterade.
Gotta love it.
Haterade.
Drinking that haterade. But yeah, I think this is a good situation, turning a kind of shitty situation to a good situation by the fact that we're able to get him a win today. Dak a win, hopefully next week. I don't want to say that, but hopefully a win next week. And then that practice, that's just real good. Going into a stretch where, maybe Jalen Hurts has been seeing a little bit more wear and tear than we know about, and he maybe hits a decline at some point or hits a wall or gets injured. You never know.
At 6-0, I mean, at some point, like I say, you got to give them their flowers at 6-0. It's tough to go undefeated in this league at any measure, because any given Sunday, anybody can get it. But with their bye and then coming off, they got the Steelers, I think, on the 30th. So it's going to be interesting. At some point, they're going to get rattled. They're going to have a bad game. Somebody's going to play their best game against them. We're going to have to track that. So make sure you join us here every Wednesday. We'll be talking more in depth of that on NFC East Matters Wednesday morning, 9 o'clock here. So if you're tapping in Green Badges, you're welcome to join the show. The link is in the comment section. As we recap here, Week 7, Dallas over Detroit, baby. 24-6 at AT&T Stadium. Next up on deck, Chicago Bears in Jerry's world, baby. Can the Dallas Cowboys go 6-2 into the bye? Oh, man, if you'd have told me this after Week 1 when Dak Prescott got his hand injured, I would have said you was crazy.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have been like, cool, man.
No way.
Like, cool story, bro. But, man, look, this is the Dallas Cowboys we talking about, baby.
Yeah, the defense, you know what, this year, I don't know, you could have put a real good winning percentage or a winning schedule in front of me, and I would have believed it only because of the defense. I'm hoping – it seems like Zeke's getting a little better. I count him out a lot of times in games because he doesn't get the runs he used to get, but he also doesn't get the holes he used to get. And that's a big difference, by the way. He also doesn't need to be tossed out to, that's a Pollard game. You know what I mean? So there's some things that we need to know about. They need to know the strengths of this team, and I think maybe the fact that we did run well today is a good template for moving forward, because it just needs to be established. It doesn't need to always get 150 yards a game, although that'd be badass. There needs to be an establishment of it.
Question for both of you guys. And as Renee's tapping in here, great context. Renee, thank you for tapping in. Says defense needs some work under Dak's leadership, or offense, I'm sorry, rather. Yeah, he just got back in, so that's going to happen. We talked about that. Here's a little rusty. He said they just can't get ruthenium going, whoever that is. I understand, like, you just can't get it in there and dial it in, but as we go into the Chicago Bears this week, and, did the play calling from Cooper Rush to Dak Prescott, how similar, how different did it look to you guys today?
I don't know. Go ahead, D.
I think it probably was the same. I just think Dak early tried to push a few things a little more than Cooper Rush, honestly. Cooper Rush was actually probably had more reps and more playing time, was a little bit more comfortable. Dak was throwing a lot of stuff early, and Bob and I were talking about it. he was throwing it deep into double and triple coverage.
Yeah.
Was he trying to force it then, per se? That's what I think. I've seen a lot of folks saying Dak looked like he was trying to force the issue.
He's confident and he's got a strong arm, so he's thinking that he just needs to go through his mechanics to get it down to his yard line and wherever he's trying to hit. And it doesn't always work that way. It doesn't get there as fast.
Timing. You can't replace timing in the NFL. When you're quarterback to receivers, there's nothing more important. And he had 0 reps in the preseason, and he had 3 quarters, and then now nothing. So he's going through it now, and that's why it's very important to get that W. I'm actually getting excited the more I think about it that he's going to improve that much more, and everybody's going to be sleeping on Dak, and he's going to tear everybody up.
Like after the bye.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, and I agree with you. Eric, and that's the case. I'm going to say the same thing because if it was much different and worse, it would have been a different conversation we're having. But it was very similar, other than the fact that Cooper threw the ball away when he needed to throw the ball away. And that's something that we've been yelling about Dak out for years, because he either scrambles and gets sacked, holds it and gets sacked, or winds up scrambling and maybe getting a couple of yards. He didn't seem to manage the game as well as Cooper did, but Cooper had a lot of reps with these guys. We're going to get into the point now where we're going to start seeing Dak practicing with these guys all the time. So it's just going to get better for him now. It's going to actually, it'll turn into a situation where he probably wins multiple games in a row for us, like Cooper Rush did for us.
For sure.
Because it's going to be the same program, but he's going to be able to make those throws that Cooper Rush can't. So I think the similarities are definitely it's more similar today because they kept the same game plan. And we talked about on the pregame BG that we were hoping they didn't stray too far. And it was the same shit. It was a stupid reverse when we didn't need one. It was a sweep when we could have used a between the tackle run. Right. And it was also a lot of effective plays. So we did what we needed to do, but moving forward, I think Dak just gets better.
Yeah, he forced a lot. He did.
Yeah.
And it showed. He was rusty. The timing was off, but it's all going to improve. And that's why.
But he improved in that second half, though. And that's something that you need to see. If he just kept doing the same shit, that's frustrating, man. That shows you that this is what we've got now. And that's not what we got. Dak is much better than what he showed the first half of that game, and even better than what he showed in the second half. But to show improvement is super good as a fan to see. To see like you can do better.
We're gonna have to see some improvements because we got the Packers after they're coming out of the bye on the 13th of November. And speaking of the Packers, Washington is still up 23-21 with 27 seconds left, and Washington got the ball.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what we're gonna have to hear this week? I can't wait to hear what they're gonna have to say about Washington beating that bad man over there.
Bad. And let me tell you, man, if almost any time and any day of the week, man, if you give me the choice between Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, I'm probably taking Aaron Rodgers almost every damn time in that, man. And to see him struggling because his team is not coming together, they're a bunch of young kids, and
they're probably both struggling. They're both struggling.
Yeah, that's
we got strides on them. Yeah, we got strides on them. I mean, that don't mean it's going to be easy, but like I ain't scared. Like, let's go to Green Bay. It's not freezing yet. There ain't no frozen tundra. Like, I'm not trying to think ahead too long, but why not think ahead? Because I know we're going to beat Chicago, and then we got a week off. We're going to be practicing. We're going to be humming. They ain't going to be scored 28. We're going to score 28 eventually.
Yeah, after the bye, we got the Packers. Then we got the Vikings on the 20th. So you definitely want to tune in here. I got something very special. Do y'all remember what happened last year when Cooper Rush stepped into the driver's seat last year?
Oh, yeah.
Then we got the Giants on Thursday Night Football after that. So
Thanksgiving.
We got the second easiest schedule in the league. So, I mean, the table is pretty much set. All we got to do is execute, man.
There's the games that are remaining right now. The division games, no matter who they are going to be the tough ones that we can look at. I don't know that the Colts are giving me anything to worry about, or the Texans. The Jaguars got a little pop, and they can win a game. Titans, I'm not really crying about either. And then we end with the Commanders, like you said. So I don't know. I think we got at the very least. This is all we need is the ability to win the division and get into the game. And,
hey, we got to chase Philly. Like I said, we're chasing Philly.
I hope the Vikings stay hot. I hope they can stay winning. Let's take a look at who are they playing here today. Where are they at? Where the Vikings at this week? Are they on prime time?
They're on a bye.
Okay, they're on the bye this week. So okay, good deal.
But we're chasing Philly bottom line because they're the best team in the NFL right now.
But
Record-wise,
before we get there, like I wanted to say, the Vikings are a pretty good team in the NFC. That's going to be our next measuring stick. Can Minnesota continue? Can they come out after the bye, whoever they got? We got the Packers,
after our bye.
and then we got the Vikings. So I think the Vikings is going to be a good test. Now, going up to Lambeau is not going to be no easy feat either.
No.
You know, Green Bay's going to get up for that. Aaron Rodgers loves to play some Dallas Cowboys, and you can expect Stephen A. Shitbird to be running his damn mouth all week during that bye week leading up to that Packers game.
For sure.
Yeah, the comment, I think we talked about this, the moving of the goalpost this week will be, well, the Cowboys got to win, but, you know, they were playing a 1-4 team. They didn't look very good in that first half. And then, fortunately, they have the second half to be like, well, damn, they look pretty good in that. And then they talk about the defense, because that's all they can do. They can hate on that offense as much as they want, but they cannot hate fully on our team because the defense is probably the best in the league right now.
Look,
next to Philly and some of those other guys.
You can say it's the Detroit Lions 1-4 all you want to. I mean, Philly was out there defending themselves too as well. We beat them. They're like this top scoring offense. Well, guess what? We held them to 0 touchdowns. So that is an accomplishment within itself. Numbers don't lie. You can't write any NFL team off any given Sunday because Detroit could have very easily went in there and lit our ass the fuck up. Like, you know, Matt Stafford used to do. Remember going in there, winning, jumping over, you know, the goal line at the end of plays and faking plays.
Megatron used to tear us up. Megatron used to
kill us.
Well, he tore everybody up, but for some reason, he got us even more. 200 yards and a couple touchdowns, it seemed like, every time we played Megatron.
But our defense has got to hang our hat on the fact that we held them to 0 touchdowns. That was one of the top scoring offenses in the league. They're almost averaging 28 points. Now they're down to 24. We held them to just a couple of field goals, 24-6. Your Cowboys win. So, haters, you're going to have to wait and hope something happens during week 8 with Chicago Bears.
Bring them on.
Preseason. It looks like the game that the Lions actually won was against the Commanders.
Yeah, they suck too.
Yeah, they do.
Well, not today. They're beating Karen Rodgers, so I'm rooting for them, my NFC East teams. Y'all know that when we ain't playing them, I'm rooting for them. 23-21, 5 seconds left. Oh, Green Bay has the ball.
Yeah, Green Bay.
Shit.
This year.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, anything. Hopefully they lose, though.
Commander steak.
Yeah, they're horrible. They're going to disintegrate.
How about Tom Brady and them guys? How about that? They got their ass waxed today, too. Did y'all see that?
Carolina, yeah. I live in Tampa.
How do you let Carolina, who just traded CMC?
I know. That's big, man. That's big to get a win after that. You just expect them to crumble, right? Because that's all they had, but that ain't even real. I mean, he wasn't really contributing a whole lot anyway.
I told y'all at the beginning of this year, granted Dallas didn't do our job week 1. It was going to be the descent of the GOAT. This year, he out there comparing his career to military folks, get fried up. Now he got fried up by the damn Carolina Panthers. 3-4 for the GOAT.
That's good shit.
That's a good call then early because he's half in, half out. Gronk didn't come back. He retired. Maybe I retired now. I'll take a couple weeks off. I'll come back. I'll go to Kraft's wedding. I won't go to Kraft's wedding. Bottom line is that team is nowhere near. And they beat us week 1. I know it was a shit show, but they're nowhere. Tampa's
Giselle
not
cooking
that good,
his ass
bro.
Right now. Giselle got the pressure on him with the lawyer. You know, Tom is out there saying he ain't never retiring now. He know he gonna have to pay some child support, trying to make sure he gonna be gainfully employed.
I gotta keep playing.
But that's why you play the game. Like you said, what another crazy year, right? You know, you think you got your thumb on it. You think things may go away. Think of last season where we were come week 7, week 8. Think this season. I mean, anything can happen, y'all. Like the Philadelphia Eagles could be 6-0.
Yeah, and I guess another thing, that's something I would have never predicted either. But again, like we Eric and I were talking, that bubble's going to have to pop. I mean, look, maybe it doesn't too, by the way. But that's what's important about getting these wins. The next time we play Philly, we gotta win.
Oh, that game! Ooh, just imagine if Philly couldn't lose and Dallas didn't lose till Christmas Eve.
Right.
What a sight that would! Man, we would. I think the internet they probably would break whatever network we was on that day.
Well, the bad thing is if that happened, they would still win because they'd be undefeated and we'd have 2 losses. So even if we won, they'd still have us.
Very good point. Very good point. But one
They're
can dream on.
We're chasing them, bro. And I hate having to have help, but all right, of course, I'm always going to root Philly against those guys. But
well,
every game is so vital.
I heard about T.J. Watt getting ready to return for Pittsburgh Steelers, and I know Alex Highsmith had 6.5 sacks over there. So I don't know. They may have a tall order against Jalen Hurts, when they return on the 30th. They got the Steelers, so we're going to have to pay close attention. I might just do a watch party for that.
I like that. Yeah, that's a good one.
Exactly, Aaron says we beat the Lions a lot easier and soundly than the Eagles did. Don't let no Eagle fan tell you that. They're going to just say, y'all, they were 1-4. That was supposed to do anyway. What? Hold them to no touchdowns? Like y'all couldn't?
Yeah, I looked at their schedule. They put up some points against some teams, man. They were putting some fucking points up, man. But again, this is something that we need to be happy about. We need to understand this defense is what we need to be cheering about, man. Even if the offense sputters, really this defense should be good enough, especially with Dak back, to overcome some of these games that we should have won by 14, 21 points.
Yeah, with those 5 sacks, I wanted to take a look at the defense to see where our sacks are tracking at for Dallas.
We're like number 1 or maybe number 2 in the league in sacks.
I really felt the first half of this game too that they sort of took a playbook out of Philadelphia and started just letting Parsons run unblocked and just throwing at where he was starting off at. Stop worrying about double teaming him and making sure that you just let him run the play that he's going to play and just throw at him. And he was running around like a maniac again, but that second half, he sort of got dialed in as Detroit got a little tired and he did his job, but he was looking a little like he was getting a little taken out of the game. Like they did in Philly. They kind of neutralized him in Philly.
They did. They'll have to adjust to that. Dan Quinn, I believe in him and being able to make adjustments and the athletic ability and the will to win as Parsons. They have. That defense is up there, man.
And Lane Johnson is like one of the best in the league too. So it's hard to get around that. They got a great offensive line, but Lane's one of the best.
Well, Aaron's tapping in, letting us know that we're number 1 in sacks. I was trying to pull that up on Stat News, but I'll wait until after this week. We'll tap in on Wednesday with NFC East Matters. We'll recap where Mike is at now. He's sitting at 7 sacks, so he's the sack leader currently. Still a lot of football left today. However, the Dallas Cowboys got the W when it mattered today. We needed to get this win at home against Detroit with Dak returning today. Let's see what the media is going to say, baby. We got them Bears up next for week 8, and it looks like a layup, but it's definitely going to be a whole lot of talk as a trap game this week. I think that everybody's going to be talking that the Chicago Bears is the trap game at home for the Dallas Cowboys week 8. What say y'all? Y'all got any part words for we get out here, Eric B?
Hey, take the Cowboys in the under. Next week. That's my part. Take the Cowboys to win and cover the under.
There you go. All your DFS bettors out there, all them Caesar books, MGM sports books, bettors out there. Take my man's advice. Bob, what you got? Parting shots before we get out of here.
Hey, how about them Cowboys? We look good. We came out the second half and turned it around. I've got some faith for the next one. So keep growing. That's it. That's all I got to say.
And that's been your post-game Cowboys report with Bob BG and Eric B. Just a whole bunch of B's. We'll see y'all on the next episode, baby. Go Cowboys.
Killer B.